Everyone, thank you for tuning in and joining us this evening, this Shabbat evening. We're going to spend this evening together as we welcome in Shabbat, focusing on prayers of peace and rest, and how we can create sort of 25 hours of space in time that feel just a little bit more sane than the world around us right now, as different cities are hunkering down and getting ready for federal troops to arrive to quell some protests. We need all of the peace and all of the rest and all of the good ruach, the good spirit that we can create this evening. So tonight, as we sing together, pray together, I want you to think about the world of peace that we may feel very, very far away from, but that we want to build together. So we're going to continue with Lecha Dodi, with welcoming in our Shabbat beloved, and we're going to sing verses 1, 5, and 9. When we get to that final verse, we are going to turn towards the door and welcome in that loving presence of God that we all need so much today in our lives.
Lecha Dodi likrat kala pene Shabbat Shamor v'zachor b'diburecha hishmianu elam yuchad Adonai echad u'shemo echad l'shem u'letiferet v'letzilah Shabbat nekah bela hitoreri kiva orech kumi ori Daberi kavod Adonai alai yichnig la lecha dodi likrat kala pene Shabbat nekah bela Likrat kala pene Shabbat nekah lecha dodi likrat kala pene Shabbat nekah bela
And we say, Shalom Aleichem, may you come in peace. And Boachem le Shalom, may you enter May you be with us in peace. Barchuni l'shalom. May you bless us with peace. And Zeichem l'shalom. When you go, may you leave us with a sense of peace.
Shalom Aleichem, Malachi Ashare, Malachi Elyon. Mi Melech Malachi Amlachim, Kadosh Baruch Hu. Boachem l'shalom, Malachi Hashalom, Malachi Elyon. Mi melech malachi amlachim kadosh baruch hu. Bachuni leshalom malachi hashalom malachi elyon. Mi melech malachi amlachim kadosh baruch hu. Zeichem l'shalom, Malachi Shalom, Malachi Elyon. Mi melech Malachi Amlachim HaKadosh Baruch Hu.
And now as we welcome in our Shabbat, go ahead, if you have them in front of you, pull out your Shabbat candles. I know that we have some folks tonight who are watching, who are part of my our conversion seminar, and they were challenged with bringing in some new Shabbat rituals they've never tried before. So I'm going to lead us in the blessings, and if you have your candles, go ahead and pull those out, and we're going to light them together and do our blessing over our wine and our bread, our challah, because I know many of you are sitting down to have a Shabbat meal with your families, and having that sacred ritual in your home is so much a part of what it means to be Jewish. So as these Shabbat candles give light to all who behold them, so may we, by our lives, give light to all who behold us. As their brightness reminds us of the generations of Israel who have kindled light, so may we, in our own day, be among those who kindle light. Shemor v'zachor et HaShabbat. Guard and keep the Sabbath day holy. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher kiddushanu b'mitzvotav Natzivanu lehadik ner shel Shabbat. And we sanctify the joy, the simcha of our most special holiday of Shabbat with wine, our symbol of joy, and we sing together the blessing. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam borei peri hagafen Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, asher kiddushanu b'mitzvotav v'ratzavanu, v'shabbat kodsho be'ahava u'ratzon hinchilanu, zikaron l'maseh v'reshit, ki hu yom techila lemikrayei kodesh, zecher l'tziat Mitzrayim, ki vanu v'acharta, ve'otanu kidashta, mikol ha'amim, ve'shabbat kodshecha, ve'ava u'ratzon, hinchaltanu. Baruch atah Adonai Mekadesh HaShabbat L'chaim. And finally, our blessing for food or bread, which God helps us as human beings bring forth from the earth. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, hamotzi lachem min haaretz b'te'avan. As I was explaining to my class, it's not good to get bogged down in doing things perfectly. It's better to try to do things well. And so, of course, my new Shabbat ritual for COVID-19, I do the motzi over goldfish crackers. All right. So now we turn to the beginning of our evening service, our Ma'ariv, with Baruch Hu, our call to worship. So if you're able, please rise.
Am I awake? Am I prepared? Are you listening to my prayer? Can you hear my voice? Can you understand? Am I awake? Am I prepared? La la la, ya la 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 la, ya la 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 la, ya la la. Barechu et Adonai HaMevorach, Baruch Adonai HaMevorach Le'olam Ba'er, Le'olam Ba'er, Yalalai Lai Lai, Yalalai Lai Lai, Yalalai Lai Lai, Yalalai Lai Lai, Yalalai Lai Lai.
You may be seated. Our prayer, Ahavat Olam, Beit Israel, it's talking about the great love that God shows to the people of Israel. But as we talk a little bit more tonight, we know that God doesn't just love us. God has love for all people. We're told in the first chapter of Genesis that God created us all, B'Tselem Elohim, in the divine image. And so when we talk about God loving the Jewish people, let's also just be reminded that that same love extends out to everyone. And because we feel like we are recipients of God's love, we are in fact commanded to reflect that back on others. So we're going to sing about God's great love with our prayer, Ahavat Olam.
Ahavat Olam Beit Yisrael, Ahavat Olam Beit Yisrael, Ahavat Olam, Ahavat Olam Beit Yisrael. What a great love, what a great love you have given us. What a great love, what a great love you have given us. Ahavat Olam Beit Yisrael, Ahavat Olam Beit Yisrael, Ahavat Olam, Ahavat Olam Beit Yisrael. What a great love, what a great love you have given us. What a great love, what a great love you have given us.
Baruch Atah Adonai Ohev Amo Israel. Praise to you, Adonai, our God, who loves your people, all people, and Israel. Let's take a moment before we go into our central prayer, our Shema, and think of one thing you don't want to do this Shabbat. One thing that you do throughout your everyday work week that you don't want to take with you into Shabbat. When I was talking to my conversion students, somebody said, I am not going to read the news on Shabbat. I'm going to take 25 hours to just tune it all out. Not to forget that there are problems, but just to try to think of a world as it should be rather than the world as it is. So think of one thought that you want to let go of. I'm going to invite you to close your eyes. Just exhale it out. Let it go. And when you're ready, go ahead and sing with us.
Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad. 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 Baruch Shem Kevod Malchuto, Leolam Va'ed. Baruch Shem Kevod Malchuto, Leolam Va'ed. Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad. Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad.
ואהבת את אדוני אלוהיך בכל לבבך ובכל נפשך ובכל מאודיך, והיו הדברים האלה אשר אנוכי מצווך היום על לבביך, ושיננתם לבניך, ודיברת בם בשבתך בביתך, ובלכתך בדרך, ושוכבך ובקומך, וקשרתם להיות על ידך, והיו לטוטפות בין עיניך, וכתבתם על מזוזות ביתך ובשעריך, למען תזכרו ועשיתם את כל מצוותיי, והייתם קדושים לאלוהיכם. אני אדוני אלוהיכם, אשר הוצאתי אתכם מארץ מצרים, להיות לכם לאלוהים. אני אדוני אלוהיכם, אדוני אלוהיכם אמת. We all are standing on the shores of something. We all are facing something new, something unknown. It can be universal, like the world as it is shaping or reshaping. It could be a new member of the family that we're welcoming in. It could be a job that we've lost. It could be a new relationship. We stand always at the edge of the sea, and we pray for God to give us the courage to take that first step into the water. And we pray that God will allow those waters to part for us, and that we might be able to pass through it safely and cross on dry land.
Who is like you, Adonai? Who is like you, Adonai? Ya la la la, ya la 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 la, ya la 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 la, ya la 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 la, ya la 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 la. Mi chamocha ba'elim Adonai, mi kamocha nehedar b'kodesh, nora tehilot osefele, nora tehilot osefele. Hey, who is like you, Adonai? Who is like you, Adonai? Ya la la la, ya la 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 la, ya la 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 la, ya la 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 la, ya la 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 la. One last time, mi kamocha ba'elim Adonai, mi kamocha nehedar b'kodesh, nora tehilot osefele, nora tehilot osefele. Ya la la, sing along at home please. Ya la la la, ya la 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 la, ya la 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 la, ya la 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 la, ya la 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 la, ya la 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 la.
Never has there been a time, I think, in recent history, in our own lives, where we have needed so much blessing, so much protection, so much of almost a supernatural guardian to help us. And so tonight when we sing our Hashkivenu, not only are we asking for God's protection on us and our loved ones and everyone across the world who is needing a little bit of divine intervention, but also remembering that it's not always about divine. Most of the things that we struggle with in life are man-made. They're not natural disasters, and that we, each one of us, are the only ones who can solve the problems that we face. So as we ask for God's help, we also feel empowered to be God's hands in the world.
Hashkivenu Adonai, Eloheinu leshalom, v'hamidenu shomrei, nu lechaim. Hashkivenu Adonai, Eloheinu leshalom, v'hamidenu shomrei, nu lechaim. Ufros aleinu, uvoenu, lechaim ushalom, me'atza ve'ad olam. Hashkivenu Adonai, Eloheinu leshalom, v'hamidenu shomrei, nu lechaim. Hashkivenu Adonai, Eloheinu leshalom, v'hamidenu shomrei, nu lechaim. Ushmor tzeitenu, uvoenu, lechaim ushalom, me'atza ve'ad olam.
Tonight we're going to start our Amidah, our central prayer, which has 13 different prayers of thanksgiving in them. But tonight we're just going to get you started. And we're going to do a fully silent Amidah so that you can have some time in that space to think of your own prayers that you want to share and your own meditations of your heart this evening. So if you're able, please rise.
Tiftach ufi yagi tehilatecha. Adonai, open up my lips that my mouth Shalom Rav Yisrael Amcha Tasim Leolam. Shalom Rav Yisrael Amcha Tasim Leolam. Sorry. Ki yatzahu melech adon lecho hashalom. Ki yatzahu melech adon lecho hashalom. Shalom Rav al Yisrael Amcha Tasim Leolam. Shalom Rav al Yisrael Amcha Tasim Leolam. V'cho beinecha levarech et Amcha Yisrael v'cho et uv'cho sha'a bishlomecha. Shalom Rav al Yisrael Amcha Tasim Leolam. Shalom Rav al Yisrael Amcha Tasim Leolam. Tasim Leolam. Tasim Leolam.
As always, we have members of our congregation who have asked for us as their Kihila Kadosha, their holy community, to pray for them for a refuah shlema, a complete healing of body and spirit. And as we pray for them, we also pray for their doctors and their caregivers, that they have skilled and tender hands. And also it is a call to us, our conscience, to make sure that we are a force for healing in their lives. So tonight we, as a TBT community, pray for Valentina Derachovsky, Azrael Early, Tara Landry, Rohan Early, Myra Masig, Patricia Shapiro, Orly Sherman, Amy Thornton, Deborah Newman-Zis-Castingay, Lindsay Robinson, Laura Armstrong, John Levy, Stacy Hetzel, Diane Turner, Michael Sirkin-Poole, Jacqueline Tara-Smith, Kalina Suzawa, Deborah Rose, Sid Rubin, Ken Slotnick, Liliana Oxsmith, Hans Wheel, Sylvia Brown, Phil Grinker, Elizabeth Knopf, Bill Marmion, Jeffrey Finn, Benjamin Dominitz, Bobby Morgenstern, Sheldon Morgenstern, Terry Callett, Pam Shane Johnson, and Catherine Alfred. If there is somebody else that you're thinking of and you want to send a refuah shlema, prayer of healing to, please keep their names and thoughts of them in your heart as we sing together our Mishberach.
Avotzeinu Avraham Yitzchak v'Yaakov Sarah Rivka Rachel v'Leah Hu Yivarach החולים. מי שברך אבותינו אברהם, יצחק ויעקב, שרה, רבקה, רחל ולאה, הוא יברך ויברך את החולים. אל נא רפאנה לה, אל נא רפאנה לה, אל נא רפאנה לה, אל נא רפאנה לה. מי שברך אבותינו אברהם, יצחק ויעקב, שרה, רבקה, רחל ולאה, הוא יברך ויברך את החולים.
So this past week, many of you knew that I had taken a little bit of vacation. I use it in quotes because I actually took the days off so that my husband and I could endeavor to do one of our craziest DIY projects ever. We decided that we were going to replace our roof. And about a day into it, I realized that we had bitten off a little bit more than we could chew. And we've done a lot, but a roof is just a whole new level. And so I told my husband, call those roofers we got some quotes from, and even if it costs us $10,000 for them to complete the job, I think it's going to be worth it. And so he called the roofers, and they said, no, we won't do a job that's already been started because we can't guarantee the work that's already been done. And so we were stuck with a task that was really too big for either one of us. And so I said, honey, maybe we find somebody who is looking for a little bit of work right now, a day laborer, and they can help us at least with the really strenuous part. We just needed more hands. And so my husband reached out to a group online called Kenmore Neighbors, and he didn't get a lot of hits. He got one. And that one person responded, hey, I can come this weekend and help you out, and wanted very modest pay for the work. And my husband did a little bit of searching around and came to me and said, honey, I just want to get sort of your feedback on this. The guy who's going to be helping with the roof this weekend, I saw that he had posted that he just recently was at a pro-Palestinian rally. And I said, well, I know rabbis who go to pro-Palestinian rallies, so that doesn't particularly upset me. Please go ahead and let him know that we could use the help this weekend. And when the day approached that he was going to come and help us on the roof, I got a little nervous. Not knowing this person and wanting to use an abundance of caution, I did something that I, as a rabbi, am somewhat ashamed to admit. I took down our mezuzah on the front door, and I removed our Birkat Habayit from the entrance of our house, and I hid away our Chanukiot and our tzedakah box because I just didn't know. And a project on the roof is dangerous without having a heated political debate. So I decided that this was probably for everyone's safety. And throughout the weekend, we worked with this lovely, hardworking, amazing young individual who was very outspoken and told us all about his background, being raised in the West Bank, his parents wanting better life and opportunity for their children and coming here to the US. And I have other people I know who are Palestinian. I do consider myself a Zionist. I love Israel. But just because I'm a Zionist does not mean that I am anti-Palestinian. I am pro-human rights, and therefore I love all people, regardless of their background, regardless of their political leanings. It doesn't mean we always agree, and it doesn't mean I wanted to have that conversation on the roof. But the more time I spent with him and the more time my husband spent with him, the more we felt guilty about not telling him that we were Jewish. But we decided perhaps he wouldn't have felt comfortable up on a roof with Zionists. For the same reason, we didn't know if we felt safe on the roof with somebody who had the opposite leaning. And at one point he did come in the house and we were taking a lunch break. And he said, the funniest thing is his best friend is actually a rather conservative, politically conservative Jew, his best friend. And they have debates all the time around Israel and Palestine. And he said that many progressive Jews are actually some of, the biggest proponents of, rights for Palestinians. And my husband laughed. And he said, yes, we're very well aware of that. And yet that entire time I shut up, I didn't say a thing. And I waited until we were done with the roof. It is done now, and it looks great. And as he was leaving, and I wanted to pay him for his work, I told him that I had something to admit. And I said, we're Jews. And not only that, I'm a rabbi. And he was like, oh, that's fine. My best friend is Jewish. And I said, I just want you to know that we loved working with you. And we want you to come back and help us with other projects in the future. And we support your struggle, even if it means we still love and support our family, friends, and neighbors in Israel. We also want what is best for everyone. So right there on our roof this past weekend, we had an interesting encounter that allowed us to put a human face on the conflict. One thing that you all might not know if you're not keeping close tabs on the news coming out of Israel is there is an effort by the Netanyahu government, by the Likud government, that was pushed forward by the Trump administration to go ahead with the annexation of a good chunk of the West Bank. I am deeply worried about what this could mean for this two-state solution and peace in the Middle East. And we as Reformed Jews need to make sure we keep on top of this. Just because the entire world is falling apart doesn't mean that we can stick our head in the sand on this particular issue. We have to make sure that our friends and our neighbors feel supported, feel loved, and understand that Jews aren't a monolith on this, and that you can be a Zionist and be pro-Palestinian, care about Palestinian people. I'm thinking a lot about this because of what we're dealing with in our own country right now, with mayors of different cities saying that they're being basically occupied. Their cities are being occupied by troops, by federal forces in the U.S. Sent by the Trump administration. And I think it's just a little taste of what it is to lose your autonomy and your sovereignty. And I hope that it doesn't continue for very long, and that the resistance isn't nearly as violent or bloody as the Israel-Palestine conflict. But I think to have that perspective of we're all human beings, we're all deserving of peace and love and security, it's really important, especially right now when it's so easy to dehumanize other people that we don't know. So much of what's going on with Black Lives Matter seems to be just a lack of understanding of what Black folks are going through in this country. Just an utter ignorance. And the way we can fight that ignorance right now is by reaching out a hand, meeting new people, being open to new ideas, and allowing their stories to become an education for every one of us. So in addition to the roof project that's now complete, we are going to start actually with Josh Niehouse's house, the Niehaus house. Next week, we're going to start doing some renovating rabbi projects. You'll learn a little bit of, some how-to tips on how to make your fixer-upper a little bit more livable, yes. But also, we're going to blend in some really important Jewish teachings and make it feel like you're sort of on the journey with us. And even if you don't want to pick up a hammer or a drill, you might be able to glean some Jewish wisdom out of our little podcast. So we're going to start that next week. It'll take us a while to edit videos, so just be on the lookout. The other thing is our Kaddish project. If you have photos, quotes, particular teachings from a loved one that you want shared when we do Kaddish all together, please get those to us. We're going to start soliciting those also directly, but if you guys can be proactive and get those to us, we would love to be able to memorialize your loved ones while we're in this format of doing things virtually. Rabbi Molly was not with us tonight because we are coming up with a new schedule so that each one of us can have a little bit of a Shabbat at home and Shabbat rest in peace with our families. So if you're wondering where she is having dinner probably right now with her little ones and her husband, Noah. And we are so blessed to have Josh Niehaus with us for music. You sound phenomenal tonight. We'll have more of Josh, and you'll get to know Josh over this next year as he leads us in prayer and worship. So Shabbat Shalom, everyone. Josh, do you want to add anything?
No, Shabbat Shalom. I'm very, very excited to meet everybody when we can get back together in person. I've been welcomed by every single person that I have met so far, and it's just such a warm, amazing community. I'm thrilled to be working with you and with Rabbi Molly, and just like everything seems to be great. And your Devar tonight was inspiring and really moved me. So thank you for that.
Awesome. Thanks, Josh. So we are going to now move towards the conclusion of our service. I'm going to go ahead and put that screen back up so that you can follow along with us again, for any of the students in our conversion class, we have, I think, like a whopping 15 people now, which is pretty much 3 times the amount that I have in a year. It's an incredible blessing. Everybody brings so many interesting, diverse opinions, and it's a really energetic group. And I hope if you're watching tonight, you're taking some notes for our class next week so that you can ask questions. And additionally, if you're sitting at home saying, I know somebody who wants to convert, or I want to convert, go ahead and just email me, Rabbi Sidney at Temple B'nai Torah, and we can get you set up with a class, because it's a really great time with COVID and everybody stuck at home to start reflecting on your own religious beliefs and values. So we are going to conclude our service. Josh has actually prepared a little bit of a sermon anthem for us, this idea of peace and creating peace. And nation shall not lift up or take up sword against nation or learn war ever again.
Lo yisagoy el goy cheret, lo yimedu o melchama. Lo yisagoy el goy cheret, lo yimedu o melchama. Now, usually this is sung in a round, so if you don't know the words to this, you can just keep doing the A, O, like I've been doing, and I'll sing the other words, and we can harmonize even at a distance. Lo yisagoy el goy cheret, lo yilmedu o melchama. Lo yisagoy el goy cheret, lo yilmedu o melchama. Od yavo shalom aleinu, od yavo shalom aleinu, od yavo shalom aleinu ve'al kulam. Od yavo shalom aleinu, od yavo shalom aleinu, od yavo shalom aleinu ve'al kulam. Salam aleinu ve'al kol ha'olam. Salam shalom. Salam aleinu ve'al kol ha'olam. Salam shalom. Peace will come to all of us. Od yavo shalom aleinu, od yavo shalom aleinu, od yavo shalom aleinu ve'al kulam. Od yavo shalom aleinu, od yavo shalom aleinu, od yavo shalom aleinu ve'al kulam. Aleinu ve'al kol ha'olam. Salam shalom. Salam aleinu ve'al kol ha'olam. Salam shalom. Od yavo shalom aleinu, Od yavo shalom aleinu, od yavo shalom aleinu, ve'al kulam. Salam v'shalom.
Our thoughts turn to those who have departed this earth, our own loved ones, those whom our friends and neighbors have lost, the martyrs of our people whose graves are unmarked, and those of every race and nation whose lives have been a blessing to humanity. As we remember them, we meditate on the meaning of love and loss, of life and death. On this Shabbat evening, we remember the most recent passing of Muriel Leventhal, family friend of Karen Rosenberg, and Daniel Coffer, cousin of Earl Hirsch. We also remember the yahrzeits, the anniversary of the deaths of Jerry Altschul, Alfred Bachman, Riven Ben Yankel Bresker, Morris Ehrman, Rose Ehrman, Sandra A. Gould, Samuel Hager, Jean Ray Hurwitz, Karen Beth Katz, Bryna M. Klein, Joseph Patrick, Benjamin Portman, Louis Vladimir Shankar, Sheldon Steinberg, Brett Stone, Isidore Stusser, Pamela Jean Wechter, Harold Wagman, Rose Wagner, and Robert A. Wolfson. We join together now in our Kaddish Yatom, our mourner's Kaddish, and say together in ancient words as we rise. Yitkadal v'yikadash shemei rabbah, ve'alma divrach yorotei v'yamlich malchutei, b'chaychon uvyamachon uv'chayei d'chol beit Israel, b'agala uv'izman kariv, v'yimru, Amen. Yehei shmei rabbah mevarach le'olam u'lamei almaya, Yitbarach v'yishtabach v'yitpa'ar v'yitromam v'yitnaseh, v'yithadar v'yitale v'yitalal shmei dekudasha, b'richu, le'ela min kol birchata v'shirata, tushbechata v'nechamata, ve'amiran me'alma v'imru amen. Yehei shlama rabba min shemaya, v'chayim aleinu ve'al kol Israel, v'imru amen. Oseh shalom b'mromav, Hu ya'aseh shalom, aleinu ve'al kol Israel, v'imru, amen. May the one who creates harmony on high bring peace to us and to all Israel, to which we say. And tonight we're going to end with a prayer of love and understanding. Olam chesed yibaneh.
Olam chesed yibaneh, yadadai, dai, yadadai. Just repeat that line. Olam chesed yibaneh, yadadai, yadadai, yadadai. Olam chesed yibaneh, yadadai, yadadai. Olam chesed yibaneh, yadadai, yadadai. I will build this world from love. Yadadai, yadadai, yadadai. And you must build. You must build this world from love. Yadadai, yadadai, yadadai. And if we build this world from love, yadadai, yadadai,
Shabbat Shalom, everyone. I hope you have a blessed 25 hours of peace. And tomorrow night, when it's all over, you are ready to do the work of repairing the world. Right? Shabbat Shalom, everyone.
Shabbat Shalom.